You're listening to the views expressed right here on the Free America Radio Network. The world as we know it is changing. We must speak out against the tyranny in our country. Stand up, speak out, get involved. Live Truth Radio. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. The Wayne S. Pierce Show on the Free America Radio Network. Go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for more information. And catch the Wayne S. Pierce Show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on the Free America Radio Network.
Time to take our republic back, folks. Brian Bonner, the uncooperative radio show host, will tell you how. Join us for the ride of your life. Using humor and the facts, we will expose the news that the mainstream media refuses to report. The Constitution is the solution, and we can prove it. Listen in and find out what it means to be an uncooperative citizen of these United States. You can find our show at uncooperativerradio.com, and we are rebroadcast on redstatetalkradio.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Free America Radio Network. Prepare yourself for the unexpected. Have an emergency food supply available when you need it. You never know when the next power outage or natural disaster will happen. Are you prepared when it does? Go to Free America Radio Network website and click on the Store tab and get your emergency food supply now. Go to freeamericaradio.us. A natural disaster could happen at any time. Be prepared. Go to freeamericaradio.us and click on the Store tab to get your emergency food supply today. That's freeamericaradio.us and click on the Store tab and prepare in case something happens. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
From behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9, in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, you're listening to The Views Express Live. Hey folks, how you doing? This is The Views Express Live right here in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, on the 26th of June, 2014. How are ya? How are you folks? Hey, for you folks that have jumped on over here from Live Truth Radio, thank you. You can go to freeamericaradio.us, catch me in the chat room over there. I'm there. Or if you have come to Spreaker.com Free America Radio Network. You can join me in the chat room here as well. So, thank you all. Thank you for coming here and listening to me babble. It's Thursday, folks. Thursday, Thrust Day, as Pete Santilli calls it. Yes, you can go to freeamericaradio.us. Click on the Emergency Food Supply tab at the top of the page, right below the title of the page, and get all the emergency food supplies that you need right there. Anyway, what do we do today, folks? What do we talk about? How are we looking to other parts of the world? How are we looking in the eyes of others? What is this country all about? Where are we going, is what I'm saying. If another country looks at us and says, hey, America is the land of the free, home of the brave, you get freedoms and all that. No, you know what? Screw that. I would even go as far as saying 70% of other countries, or 70% of the populations of other countries, are looking at the United States of America as being the biggest police state there is in the world. Because I don't see any other country going to any other country in the world and occupying them as much as we do in the last 215 years. Hell, Iran has not even attacked anybody in over 300. I mean, who's the bullies in the schoolyard? Who's here to stop this onslaught of bullcrap coming from Washington, D.C.? We are, folks. We got to stand up and do something. I'm serious. I'm serious. Stand up, speak out, get involved. That's what Brian Lang says over at Live Truth Radio Network. LiveTruthRadio.com. Go check him out. I'm at the point where you almost feel like grabbing people and just shaking the crap out of them and saying, "Wake up now! You're being stupid. Let me pull your head out of your ass. Let me, you smell like crap because you had your head up your butt. Here you go. Wipe it off, clean it off. Here's the reality. There you go." I feel like doing that sometimes. I can't. I just can't. It won't work. It won't work. They'll just get pissed and want to, beat me up or something. freeamericaradio.us is the website. freeamericaradio@usa.com is the email. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. The first picture you see there is survival gear for 2014. Please, folks, go buy as much food as you can. Go buy as much as you have to. And, hey, it helps me out. Helps out Free America Radio Network. Keeps a webpage up and the show going. Okay? So if you want to continue to listen to the show, that's one way of helping out. Okay? Also, if you scroll on down, you'll see an article from alternet.org. The feds have turned America into a war zone. 4 disturbing facts about police militarization. It's put up yesterday by Aaron Cantu, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Thank you, Aaron. Why do even small towns now deploy paramilitary forces? For nearly half a century, America's police force have undergone a process of militarization. They upped their cache of assault weapons and military defense gear, increasingly deployed SWAT teams to conduct ops-style missions on civilians, and inculcated a warrior attitude within their rank. While major metropolitan areas have maintained SWAT teams for decades, by the mid-2000s, 80% of small towns had their own paramilitary forces. Okay? Folks, I've been telling you this for the 4 or some odd years that I've been on air. I've been telling you this from day one. And the facts are there. But beyond continuing on with this article from alternet.org, but beyond deep reporting of individual journalists and scholars, little is known about the extent of militarization across the country. The ACLU has attempted to bridge that knowledge gap with a new report called War Comes Home, the excessive militarization of American policing. This is from the ACLU, folks. Quote, this is from the ACLU. Quote, our investigation is the first to conduct an analysis using raw data received directly from police departments by looking directly at incident reports themselves, unquote, says Kerry Danksky, senior counsel at the ACLU's Center for Justice and the primary author of the report. The ACLU sent public record requests to 260 law enforcement officers in 25 states, including, or plus, Washington, D.C., asking for records of all SWAT deployments between 2011 and 2012. Below are some of the most significant findings. This is what the ACLU found out. The federal government's war on drugs is a single greatest catalyst for local police militarization. In other words, not only that, it's the most profit to the cities. Okay? I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to highlight some of it because it's on multi-pages here of this alternet.org article. Number 2, militarization is occurring with, quote-unquote, almost no oversight. Number 3, non-whites are more likely to be targeted by SWAT deployments. Yes, the statistics and demographics are out there, folks. Go look them up. Number 4, police are secretive about their use of SWAT. Yes. Special weapons and tactics. Tactics, methods, how you do things. Why do you think they go undercover? I grew up in Stockton, California. I could, years ago, I don't know about now, but years ago, when I was out with my friends or, just going to work or something, or taking just going out and having a good time. I'd drive down this street called Wilson Way. Anybody in Stockton knows that place. And you can see all these women walking the streets. You know what kind of women they were. But you can also pick out the undercover officers very well. Okay? All right? You can pick them out. A friend of mine many years ago, her and I were out and about with another friend of ours, and we were in the car, and she pointed them all out. She said, hooker, 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 cop, hooker, hooker, and I go, well, how do you know? She goes, duh. Oh, okay. And she explained to me later on how she knew, which basically was she had, at that time, spent some time, out on the streets, doing things when you're younger, trying to stay away from parents, making money, that kind of thing. She wasn't a hooker, I can tell you that much. I can vouch for that. But she did other things. And she knew these people. Well, hell, growing up in Stockton, I knew most of the police officers on the street, too, and most of the sheriff's department. So, I mean, I knew how corrupt they were, So you see it, you know it, it's right there. That's one half, that's the dark half of this militarization of law enforcement. But then again, you now have a whole bunch of people who just take it for granted that they can get away with whatever they can get away with. And the militarization of the police forces, of law enforcement around the country is getting absolutely ridiculous. I got something else to talk about that's absolutely ridiculous, but I think you guys know what that is. I find it incredibly odd that a lot of people will not recognize the fact that we have a militarized police department. No, I don't, why did their uniforms go from either gray khaki, tan khaki, to black? Or, they were wearing blue uniforms. Why? Why did they go black? You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's odd to me. And I remember, hey, folks, remember when the cop cars went from black and white to blue and white? God, was that a pathetic mess. Remember that? Oh, phew. Yeah, let's try to forget that part of our lives, right? In Stockton, California, where I grew up, the cop cars did that. They painted, about a year later, they went, no. But you know why, and it's all psychological. You know why? Because, you get somebody in a black uniform, jackbooted, black-suited stormtrooper, coming after you. It scares the crap out of you. How many, and now, raise your hand, how many people get really, really nervous when they see a cop car behind them? I mean, super nervous, like, oh my God, am I going the speed limit? Oh my God, I'll put down my cell phone. Do you see? It's all psychological. Not that they're going to pull you over, but it's just, so it's all that. It comes straight out of the book where they teach in the military of psychological operations. Okay? They have, I got to laugh because I know this. I've looked into this. They have it down to the most minute detail of how they can intimidate you and cause you a great deal of fear and go from there. Wow, my sound just went up in my headphones. They have it down to a science, folks. They don't call it psychological operations for nothing. And that's not, just the military-industrial complex. That's everywhere. That's in your governmental indoctrination institutes we call schools, whether it's, elementary, kindergarten, junior high, middle school, high school, community college, universities. It's all governmental indoctrination institutes. And then on top of that, they have it on TV. How many times have you watched a show on TV, like a cop show or a medical drama or something? Well, CSI is a big one. I'll use that as an example because I've seen it. Our TV took a dump, so we don't watch it anymore except, downloading it offline or online. And how many times have you watched shows like that and have seen something and went, whoa, and then in real life it happens? Really? How many times have you gone to the movies and seen a movie and saw, hey, wow, that was a great movie, and then all of a sudden something happens out in real life and you're going, wait a minute, I just saw that in a movie. Hello? Knock, knock. Anyone home? They're showing you exactly what they're doing, when they're doing it, why they are doing it, how they're doing it, and they're calling it entertainment. Has anybody read 1984? Which was published in 1948 by a guy by the name of George Orwell, who also, his real name is Eric Blair, and he was an operative for the OSS back then. That's what they called it, CIA now, and for the British intelligence. And he may have been a triple agent for the, with the Russians. Don't know that for sure. But what do we do? When you see something like that happen right out in front of your face, what are you going to do? If something happens and it reminds you of a movie you saw, of a TV show you saw, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, I'm serious. What do you do? I mean, there's a whole lot of predictive programming in everything that's going on. Okay? In everything that is going on, it's predictive programming. So remember that. Now, the other part of that I want to share with you is when you. How can I? I'm doing two things at once here, folks. I'm looking for something, and I'm trying to think here. The other part of that is if you look out, I've said this before. You go to the mall, you go somewhere, yada yada yada. You're out with your friends, whatever. You're there. Okay? You're there. I'll give you an example. You're out at the mall. Let's say you go to the mall, you gotta go, just you're out and blah, 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 right? You're out there. Okay? And you're roaming around the mall and you're seeing all this stuff going on and you're watching people and you're seeing it. I want you to do a test. A little curiosity test. A little social experiment, if you will. Holy crap. Yeah, sorry, I had to burp. I didn't want to do that on air. A little social experiment. When you're walking around the mall, best place to go for this type of experiment. Walk around the mall, you're looking at people, you're examining people, there they are. But watch what they do. Watch their behaviors. Watch how they walk. Watch where they walk. Just people watch. Just watch what goes on. And if you can... and watch for patterns. This is the biggest thing I've learned studying psychology. Watch for patterns. Okay? Because that will tell you pretty much what they have learned up to that point. Okay? I mean, honestly, when you look at things like that and you start examining things that deeply and that closely, you're going to start looking at yourself going, what the hell what? Wait a minute. I'm not programmed. Really? You mean as a kid you didn't see those sugary sweet cereals on TV and beg your mom to get them? You didn't look at that fantastic toy that was the new thing, new craze, and you didn't bug your dad to go out and buy it for you? Of course you're programmed from a very young age. Why do you think they call it programming? Okay? Operation Mockingbird. Go look that up. I mean, I'll do this. Since nobody is over on the Free America Radio .us site in the chat room, I'm going to go tell you what Operation Mockingbird is. And this is from, and I will put this on the Free America Radio Facebook page. Operation Mockingbird. The subversion of the free press by the CIA. Quote, you could get a journalist cheaper than a good call girl for a couple of $100 a month. Unquote. CIA operative discussing Philip Graham, editor, Washington Post, on the availability and the prices of journalists willing to peddle CIA propaganda and cover stories. Quote, Catherine the Great, unquote, by Deborah Davis, New York, Sheridan Square Press, 1991. Quote, the Central Intelligence Agency owns everyone of any significance in the major media, unquote. William Colby, former CIA director, cited by Dave McCowan, derailing democracy. Look that one up. There's a whole bunch of stuff, folks. I'm going to put this link up on the Free America Radio Facebook page. You guys can go read it yourself. And if Brian Lang is listening to the show, unless he's out and about, or if somebody's listening to the show, get this message off to him and have him go to the Free America Radio Facebook page and click on that link. There's a lot of things that our government does not tell us, such as Operation Paperclip. Okay? OperationPaperclip.info. Operation Paperclip was the code name under which the U.S. intelligence and military services extricated scientists from Germany during and after the final stages of World War II. The project was originally called Operation Overcast and is sometimes also known as Project Paperclip. Of particular interest were scientists specializing in aerodynamics and rocketry, such as those involved in the V1 and V2 projects. Chemical weapons, chemical reaction technology, and medicine. These scientists and their families were secretly brought to the United States without State Department review and approval. Their service for Hitler's Third Reich, NSDAP, and SS memberships, as well as the classification of many as war criminals or security threats, also disqualified them from officially obtaining visas. An aim of the operation was capturing equipment before the Soviets came in. The U.S. Army destroyed some of the German equipment to prevent it from being captured by the advancing Soviet Army. The majority of the scientists, numbering almost 500, were deployed at White Sands Proving Grounds in New Mexico, Fort Bliss, Texas, and Huntsville, Alabama, to work on guided missiles and ballistic missile technology. This in turn led to the foundation of NASA and the U.S. ICBM program. Much of the information surrounding Operation Paperclip is still classified. Separate from Paperclip was an even more secret effort to capture German nuclear secrets, equipment, and personnel. Operation Alsos, another American project. TICOM gathered German experts in cryptography. The United States Bureau of Mines employed 7 German synthetic fuel scientists in the Fischer-Tropsch chemical plant in Louisiana, Missouri in 1946. There you go, folks. Now, I don't know, folks. You know, let me give you another one. Sorry, my sinuses seem to want to act up on me. Oh well. Come back from the bottom of the hour break. I'll get into more stuff as well. But the facts are the facts, folks. They're out there. We are living in the massive charade we call the United States of America. We are looking at the facade of the White House in Washington, D.C., the 10 square mile piece of land bought by the Rothschilds, incorporated as a business, and that goes out to the smaller businesses we call states. Keep on going, folks, man. Research this stuff, because I can tell you right now that you just don't know. You need to get out and research this. Seriously. You know, seriously. You need to get out and research this stuff. So anyway, go to freeamericaradio.us if you're not already there, or email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Again, the website is freeamericaradio.us. And go to the store page, buy stuff, help out Free America Radio Network, and also get your emergency food supply today. and help out Free America Radio. I'll be right back right after this. If you're into liberty and libertarian values, tune in to The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, at radiofreedom.us.
No elitist drivel, no media spin. Logic over emotion, fact over fiction. The home of independent conservative thought. The Conservative Voice with your host, Jeff Wagner, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Around the planet on the World Wide Web.
The storm is on the horizon. The system of government that we currently have in this country is collapsing. We are on the brink of total disaster as a nation, a people, and a planet. Who or what can save us? Listen to The Views Expressed live, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, at freeamericaradio.us. Hey, folks, welcome back. This is The Views Expressed right here on the Free America Radio Network, freeamericaradio.us. Man, oh man. Let's take a look here on Free America Radio on Facebook. Free America Radio on Facebook. The rawstory.com has Massachusetts SWAT teams claim they're private companies and don't have to tell you anything. I'm just being silent so you can wrap your head around that. Travis Geddes over at the Raw Story wrote this. Thank you, Travis. Massachusetts SWAT team claims they're private companies and don't have to tell you anything after the ACLU sent open records request as part of its investigative report on police militarization. SWAT teams in Massachusetts claimed they were exempt because they were private corporations. Some SWAT teams in the state operate as law enforcement councils, or LECs, which are funded by several police departments and overseen by an executive board largely made up of local police chiefs. Member police departments pay annual dues to the LECs, which share technology and oversee crime scene investigations or other specialists. Some of these LECs are also incorporated 501c3 nonprofit organizations, which they say exempts them from open records request. Quote, "Let's be clear," unquote, wrote Bradley Balco of the Washington Post. Quote, "These agencies oversee police activities. They employ cops who carry guns, wear badges, collect paychecks provided by taxpayers, and have the power to detain, arrest, injure, and kill. They operate SWAT teams, which conduct raids on private residences. And yet they say that because they've incorporated, they're immune to Massachusetts open records laws. And yet they say that because they've incorporated, hold on to that word, folks, they're immune to Massachusetts open records laws. The state's residents aren't permitted to know how often the SWAT teams are used, what they are used for, what sort of training they get, or what they're primarily used against," unquote. The ACLU reported earlier this week that about 240 of the 351 police departments in Massachusetts belong to the LEC, which are set up as corporations but are funded by local and federal taxpayer funds. They're nonprofit organizations under 501c3, and yet you, the taxpayer, are paying for these. Why do you think they go for the property forfeiture in drug busts? Because they don't have to report the money. They get millions of dollars budgeted to them in state budgets from your taxpayer dollars, but when they confiscate property like Lamborghinis or homes or whatever, they keep those, folks. they don't have to report that income. And some of the cash they get, I grew up in Stockton, California. I can tell you there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in drugs being moved within the city just in 1 month. Okay? And part of that is by the local police. Oh, yes, here I go, talking about police. No, go look it up. In your city. Go look it up. Quote, police departments and regional SWAT teams are public institutions working with public money meant to protect and serve the public's interest, unquote, the ACLU said in its report. Quote, if these institutions do not maintain and make public comprehensive and comprehensible documents pertaining to their operations and tactics, the people cannot judge whether officials are acting appropriately or make needed policy changes when problems arise, unquote. They don't have to if they're a nonprofit organization. Go look it up, folks. They don't have to tell you anything. And why would they? What? They want the public to have a huge, massive uprising and outcry to change their way of doing things? Oh, hell no. That's why they're not going to tell you anything. They don't. Continuing, the ACLU sued the Northeastern Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council, which has about 50 member agencies, saying the LEC used government grants and taxpayer funds to purchase its equipment. Quote, any MLEC can't have it both ways, unquote, said ACLU attorney Jesse Rossman. Quote, either it is a public entity subject to public records law or what it is doing is illegal, unquote. The ACLU survey found that only 7% of SWAT missions involved incidents they were originally designed to handle, such as hostage situations or shootings, while 62% of their mission involved drug searches. There you go, folks. It's right there. Right there in your face. The truth. Sharing you the truth, one fact at a time. I want you to know I want you to know that I'm not against anybody who I'm not against anybody who wants to protect their city. Whether you're a law enforcement officer or not, whether you're constitutional or not. I'm not against anyone wanting to protect their city. I know that's vague. I know that's just generalizing, but let me be specific. If there are people in your city in law enforcement that are creating, or AKA false flag events, then something is definitely wrong, folks, and you need to take care of it. And the public outcry and uprising against corrupt cops and against organizations that, some SWAT teams that are 501c3s that are nonprofit that take your tax money, yeah, you guys need to get up and scream. You guys need to go out and march. You guys need to go out and protest. You guys need to do what you have to do to get full transparency from the law enforcement in your city. Full. Don't hold anything back. If you think they're holding anything back, you get up in their face and you tell them. You tell them what you need to tell them, and you demand that they show you what's going on and where that money is coming from. Okay? Because you live in that city and you want to be protected. I've heard sheriffs, several so far in the last several years, just within the last 3 or 4 years, say to the general public in their counties, this is across the United States, and there's only 4 of them I heard, 3 or 4 of them, that literally told their residents in their area, you better protect yourself, because we don't know how long it's going to take for us to get there. Folks, when you hear your ultimate law enforcement officer in your county say that to you, yeah, there's a problem. Okay, and it's not budgetary either. It's literally a problem. Jumping over to the Spreaker chat, I want to say hello to Mr. Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Go check it out. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. How you doing there, Nick? There's a big problem when you have Massachusetts SWAT team claim they're a private company and they don't have to tell you anything. They're a 501c3 company, folks. What the hell is that all about? You know what I'm saying? Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. There's a couple of videos there if you scroll on down. Save UK column. What is that? Advot or something like that is the UK's version of FCC. Basically told UK column, oh, if you do anything that is television style type of news, you're going to have to pay this or whatever. They're alternative. They're independent. They have revealed all sorts of garbage coming out of the royal houses in there in the UK, and people are pissed off. And the BBC is pissed off. And a bunch of people are pissed off because UK column has exposed them for the criminals they are. Now, Advot, which is like a subsidiary of their big communication thing over there, they're now telling UK column, enough. You can't do that. You can't report on anything. You just can't. That's censorship, folks, and that is fascism. So check that out. There's a video there. They're up there on Free America Radio on Facebook. Also, the other video is from Brian Lang over at LiveTruthRadio.com. Border stand down. El Paso border gate to Mexico left open and unguarded. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to put this out here. If you're in driving distance to the southern border, and if you know of any militia commanders that are down there, we're talking constitutional citizen militias. If you know any commanders, anybody down there, pack your bags and go. Any truckers that you know that are down there, have them pull their 40-footers right across that entrance, right across all the entrances down there, and just say, enough, enough. There's been reports, I don't know, I don't have any validation on this, but there have been reports that the young kids that have come over and some of the adults that have come over have diseases or whatever, whatever it is. Like I said, I don't have any validation on that. Nick, if you're still in the chat room, if you heard about this and have any information, please share it. Thank you. Just close the damn border is what I'm saying. Close it. Nogales, El Paso, just close the damn border. In Arizona, if you're down in Arizona, New Mexico, Southern California, Southern Texas, close the border. Citizens need to get down there, run down there. If you're in driving distance or a day's drive there, get down there and stop this peacefully, but stop this. If you've got to pull your car up next to the border and stand on top of your car, then that's what you do. And if we had 100 people down there on that border in that specific or in specific spots, yeah. That's why I said go down there and talk to the militia. Go down, if you know of any militia commanders, you go talk to them. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you something right now. People don't have the balls to do that. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm not going to say, hey, in November vote these people in. That's bullcrap. Your votes don't count. So screw you, screw your votes, screw everything that you ever thought was real in that voting process. It's not. It's a charade. It's bogus. Okay? You know how you can vote if you really want to vote? With your feet. You go downtown, you start protesting. You go to City Hall, you start protesting. You go to Governor's Mansion, you start protesting. You go to the state capitol, you start protesting. If you're down in the southern borders, you take hundreds of people down there, if you know hundreds of people, and you just rally the troops, rally the U.S. citizens, and close that damn border, period. End of sentence, done. And if you've come here from another country many, many years ago, and you're now a citizen of the United States, but you're upset that some citizens want to close the border, get over it. I'm going to say it, I'm going to put it on record right now. This is our country. I don't have anything against anybody that wants to come here legally. I don't have a problem with that. Don't have a problem with that at all. I have a problem with people jumping the border and trying to get over here and taking everything. And don't tell me they don't. You look at the demographics. Look at people go into Texas and make their way up into Illinois, make their way up into New York, make their way over into Georgia. What? No. What part of this country is Baroque don't you understand? You know what the actual number is of the national debt? Go to usdebtclock.org, usdebtclock.org, and see that number. That's multiply that by at least 4 times. Okay? Because that is the actual number. Somewhere in the vicinity, somebody once said 60 or 70 trillion dollars that we're in debt. Unfunded liabilities, blah, 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 you name it. Yeah. You know why? It's real simple, folks. 1 + 1 is 2. It's real simple because you allowed it. You allowed it. And we have to take back this country. We have to take back this country peacefully, non-violent, peaceful, militant resistance. We have to take it back. Now, of course, somebody might say, well, what if the other side wants to get violent? Oh, I'm sure you know how to take care of that, don't you? Because here, now I don't know about this website, but they have some good stories, and they you know, from what I understand, do a decent job. TheDailySheeple.com. I don't know. I haven't vetted that site really well. I just know that some of the stories they've had that I've looked at, you know, I can say, okay, you know. Where is the proof that the UN soldiers are actively operating on American soil? Oh, right here. This was written by, I got to give the person credit, Frank Drover. Thank you, Frank, over at dailysheeple.com. TheDailySheeple.com. As talk of the U.S. government's police state expansion heats up and the threat of martial law becomes a topic of conversation for many who are concerned about recent legislative actions and executive branch orders, many Americans remain skeptical that foreign troops have even stepped foot on American sovereign soil. Let me interject this right now. About 6 months or so ago, I was reading an article about disaster relief training. And guess who was over here in Hawaii? The Chinese Army. Okay? I'm just putting it out there. You can go look it up. Chinese Army, disaster relief, Hawaii. Go look that up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll admit to it, but that's what I saw. Okay? Continuing, they argue that there's no way that we'd allow foreigners access to our military technology, strategies, or tactics. Let me interject something there. They already have. I think Fort Bliss, I think Fort Hood, there's a few others back east, Virginia, I think it is, that the major, you know, major bases that operate, you know, very technical weaponry, that kind of thing. They've already done that, folks. They already know. Continuing, where's the proof that there are thousands of United Nations soldiers and units in America? Well, it turns out the proof is right here. Not only are foreign troops under the banner of the United Nations stationed within the continental United States, they are and have been actively training, and not just for traditional military engagements. You can go look at this article on Free America Radio on Facebook. Continuing, as depicted in the following video, there's a video there, troops and personnel under the command of the United Nations have been training all over the United States in joint exercises that include policing operations and terrorist suppression. The 502nd was in Arkansas practicing house-to-house searches and seizures in a joint UN training mission called Agile Provider. Go to your favorite search engine and look that up. Agile, A-G-I-L-E, Provider, in the spring of 1994. Agile Provider involved 44,000 UN troops, including troops from France and the Netherlands, training in the states of Georgia, North and South Carolina, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Now, I'm going to interject something here. I want to ask a question. Anybody in those states at that time in 1994, if you saw anything that was strange, out of place, whatever, I want you to email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com, and tell me what was going on at that time, if you can remember. Continuing, yes, UN troops have been trained in this country in the past, but not in brigade strengths and not in domestic support of house-to-house searches and seizures. Many of the congressmen deny that UN troops are being trained in this country at all. Folks, our own CIA and our own military-industrial complex trained the Zetas in Mexico, and they turned against us, and now they work for the drug cartels. Hello? Numerous videos like the one that follows, there's another video, have been made available on the internet and show satellite photos of United Nations vehicles stationed on military bases within the United States. So yes, not only are UN troops being trained in the United States, they would also have UN-designated vehicles already available for operational use should they be called upon to deploy in U.S. cities. A couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago now, at Fort A.P. Hill, two of Alex Jones's reporters were detained for a few hours after one of the women inside, the base said, yeah, well, you can just go out there, take a look at it, no big deal. Yeah, it was a mock city training center on the base, Fort A.P. Hill. You can go look that report up on YouTube if you like. Continuing, in a report made available Before It's News and originally posted by Steve Quayle, a reader with inside ties to the U.S. military and DHS, warns that thousands of Spetsnaz operatives, Russia's special purpose forces, have been infiltrating the United States. Before It's News is basically an aggregate website where you can, sign up and post reports that you see and articles and such that you write. Steve Quayle, I've heard about him. I haven't vetted him, so if anybody has any additional information about him, I would like to know about it. Thank you. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Continuing, quote, all of us have heard over the years rumors of foreign troops in the USA. I've always been reluctant to mention on air because I have no way of verifying the reports. I have received a call today from a longtime trusted Christian friend whom I have known for many years. The couple is wealthy and well connected to movers and shakers in the USA and Europe. Trust me, if they want to name drop, it's not an exaggeration for them. I was informed by the wife that they have a friend in the DHS who promised to pass on anything significant that would be a sign for immediate preparation. That agent called yesterday. He is hearing talk inside the DHS that thousands of Spetsnaz boys from that place connected to Alaska have been infiltrating from Canada into the U.S. throughout this summer. He estimated the number so far exceeded 20,000 commandos. He advised my friends to take action immediately for food, water, and ammo. I told her, forget it. You need a plane ticket. The greatest shock to the American people will not be the invasion, but the merger of DHS with the invaders. Then they will understand the purpose of the 750 million rounds of hollow point ammo. Marxist communist Valerie Jarrett is the real power in DHS, not Napolitano. The nation has been compromised and sold out. Colonel Lunev told me in 1999 that the Spetsnaz boys will start arriving in large numbers months before the war. Now, I want to back up here, folks, and tell you when this article was posted. I forgot to tell you that. That's why. It was posted on August 17th, 2012. Okay? August 17th, 2012. Continuing, these are not the only reports of foreign troops within the borders of the United States. Alex Jones documented the training of foreign troops in his documentary Police State 2000. 14 years ago, folks. He started filming that in 1999, okay? Or shortly thereafter, the first of the year 2000. During the development of the movie, Jones took the following snapshot, which depicts Dutch troops training during Operation Urban Warrior. Quote, foreign troops trained alongside U.S. Marines practicing takeover American citizens, rounding up American civilians and imprisoning them in barbed wire containment camps, conditioning the troops, including having actors posing as U.S. citizens beg them for food and loudly proclaim that their constitutional rights were being violated. The troops were trained to ignore these pleas and accept them as part of the urban warfare. I'll come back to that article after the top of the hour, but do you understand where all of this is going? Do you understand it? If there's anybody in the Spreaker chat, say hi, say whatever. Let me know you're alive. You know, you got a pulse. Hello, this thing on? What's going on? Let me know. What's going on in your area? Okay, do you see any movement of military equipment or military personnel? I want to know. Here's an email address you can send stuff to that I'm going to give you. That is my special email address for everything that you want to send me as far as, other than correspondence and stuff like that. Anything that you believe needs to be on my desk. Here's an email address. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. Reports, videos, inside stuff, whatever it is you want to send me. That's a very secure email address. Besides, it's in Iceland. Okay, I'm just saying. That's freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. Do you understand what's going on? Do you understand the not only the importance of getting this information out, do you understand the validity behind all of this stuff? Now, I've listened to Steve Quayle on several programs, including Alex Jones Show and places like that, and Coast to Coast. I think I heard him on Coast to Coast once with George Norrie. But the fact of the matter is this. It's not the person that you should be looking at and going, oh my God, he said that, I don't want to listen to him. It's not the person, folks. It's the message. Listen to the message. Just listen to the message. Okay? Look what William Cooper talked about. Look at all that. Look at I followed Glenn Beck from HLN over to Fox over to his new place, his own network. And guess what? He's right. Yeah, you might want to call him a shill and all this, that, and the other thing, but he's not. And same thing with Alex Jones. You want to keep saying that to me? Then you're going to have to prove yourself right. Show me the documents that prove that they work for certain people. Show me the canceled checks that they got for donations for their networks. Go ahead. You can't because it's not there. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. It's hanging out there now. Hey, it's up to you. I'll be back right after this.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Get your morning started with the Morning Brew on 92.6 The Blitz. Music from the 60s, 70s, and more. The Blitz 92.6. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com.
Free Talk Live.
You give someone an ounce of liberty and they'll go around abusing it and harming everyone else with it.
If we legalize guns...
People will be shooting people everywhere.
Right.
If you legalize prostitution, people will be having sex on the street corners. If you legalize drugs, we'll have heroin vending machines in the streets. We've heard it all on Free Talk Live. They take it to the most absurd, illogical extremes, and you're absolutely right, Alexander. It's okay for them to have freedom.
Yeah, you can give them a gun. They won't go around shooting people. But watch out with their neighbor, because you give them a gun, they'll go around in a rampage around the city, killing everyone.
But yes, they can be trusted, and apparently the government can be trusted too, because magically, we only elect the best of the best, the cream of the crop. The bureaucrats that are administering these programs are the upper echelon of society, the most trustworthy individuals.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when I squint, I swear I can see a halo above their heads.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Are you tired of the mainstream media? The media that is so biased, you wouldn't even let your dog listen to it? Well, there's an answer. Angel Clark.
On RadioFreedom.us.
Just listen to her fans.
One hell of a writer. I've read a considerable amount of her articles and quite impressed.
Until Angel, my life was void of meaning.
I want to thank you for saving my goldfish from drowning.
I love Angel Clark's honesty and her down-to-earth concern about the people.
She is very dedicated.
Angel, we need you.
This Angel's a sexy woman. I think she's going to go places, but I don't know where.
Ladies and gentlemen, she does a good job.
If it wasn't for Angel,
you saved his life, and I will be indebted to you forever. SussexCountyAngel.com.
Be a part of Angel's Army.
Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on RadioFreedom.us.
Free Talk Live.
Do you guys have a zombie plan? I'm just wondering what this country's going to do if we had some sort of apocalypse like that.
Like a zombie attack.
Do?
People coming out of the ground, like in Thriller, like in Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Like 28 days later, like a virus or something.
Oh, okay.
I mean, people don't come back to life.
Well, now, there are different kinds of zombies out there.
Now,
but let me go through the types of zombies. I mean, you've got the ones that can crawl out of the ground, right? And then she was talking about like an infection kind of zombie, like a la Resident Evil, for instance. So ideally, if you're going to have to perish at the hands of a zombie, which would be the preference? Would you prefer to have your brains eaten, or would you prefer to become one of them?
I think I'd rather just die. The last thing I'd want is, of course, the people you split up with. Then I'm talking my wife and my child. I'm coming back. I'm wanting to eat Laura's brains. It's bad. It's bad.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. What does freedom mean? Tune in to LRN.FM to find out. LRN.FM is the Liberty Radio Network, a collection of live talk radio and podcasts, all coming from a principled pro-liberty perspective. LRN.FM show hosts aren't left, right, or conspiracy kooks. You can tune in 24/7 to LRN.FM via your phone, computer, satellite, and more. Listen free anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
From behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9, in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, you're listening to The Views Express Live. Hey folks, how you doing? This is The Views Express Live right here on Free America Radio Network. FreeAmericaRadio.us is the website. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com is the email. And it is the 26th of June, 2014. How y'all doing? Got to read something. If you were here in the last part of the first hour, I got the rest of an article to read, but I found this to be quite interesting. And I'm going to read this to you. Hey, how you doing? You having a good day? You in the Spreaker chat? Hello. In a day-to-day living, people often accept ideas without question if they appear to make sense. False ideas and information can come from newspapers, radio, TV, or textbooks. They can even come from parents or friends. If a person has been given a lot of false information or concepts in an area, it is difficult to study and apply the subject as it just doesn't make sense. The subject of religion, for instance, has been seriously muddied up by the mechanistic philosophies of the last century with their false ideas that man is an animal. Quite interesting, isn't it? Quite interesting. Let me get back to this article. This article that I was starting to read was at thedailysheeple.com. And the title of the article is, "Where is the proof that UN soldiers are actively operating on American soil?" Oh, right here. I'm down to the point where I talked about or read about, Spetsnaz boys, being here, articles from Steve Quayle and BeforeIt'sNews.com and Alex Jones, Police State 2000 full movie. So I'm going to read this. Let me just highlight some of the stuff. Not only are foreign troops under the banner of the United Nations stationed within the continental United States, they are and have been actively training, and not just for traditional military engagements. There's videos there you might want to check out. I've got the link on the Free America Radio Facebook page. And let me get to this last paragraph or so and say this. It continues on down at the almost the bottom of the article. It says, "Thus, despite arguments to the contrary from congressmen and average Americans alike, foreign troops have and are training on U.S. soil. They are operating under the banner of the United Nations, and they are involved not only in conventional war operations, but operations that include the searching of homes, the detainment of non-combatants, and controlling of mass populations in large metropolitan areas. As recently as April of 2012, the Defense Defense Department confirmed that foreigners would be operating within the United States, as reported by Alex Thomas from the Intel Hub. Quote, the drills, which will take place throughout May, mark the first time that Russian and U.S. troops will train alongside each other on American soil and correlate with a long line of foreign militaries training to take on the American people. Interestingly, Russia is actually conducting a joint naval training exercise with Communist China at this very moment, unquote. This article that I'm reading from was posted by Frank Drover on August 17th, 2012. So you take it for however you want. It says here in the end piece of the article, it says this particular anti-terrorism exercise was designed to simulate a takeover of Denver International Airport. So to answer the question, where is the proof that UN troops and foreign soldiers are training and stationed in the United States? The proof is everywhere. You just have to be willing to accept it. Frank Drover is a co-editor and contributor to the Daily Sheeple, an alternative media hub for leading headlines, head lies, opinions, and commentary. Wake the flock up, it says there. So what's the point? What's the point? Point's very easy. 1 + 1 = 2. The point is very obvious. Okay? Very obvious. All right? We have the notion that we live in a free society. Folks, wake the hell up. We don't. We live in a police state. Get over it. No, seriously, get over it. Stand up and make your voice heard. Pound your feet as loud as you can, as hard as you can. Get up in the faces of these people and make demands that they pull the corporate society we call the United States of America down and implement constitutional law prior to 1871. We have to do this. Now, I know some people are going to look at me and go, well, you're a fearmonger, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're this, you're that. I've been talking about shadow governments since the early 1980s. Even when I was in the military. Yes, folks, I was in. Wasn't in long, but I was in. I want you to understand one very, very, very important thing here. The members of Congress, all 535 of them, is there 535 or 430, 434 and 101 other ones? I don't know. There's over 500 people in Congress. My point is this. They don't give a rat's ass about you. You understand that? They don't care, one, about your constitutional rights. They never have and they never will. All right? And if you haven't got a clue, by which, looking at their campaigns, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When I get there, this is what's going to happen. No, what happens when they get there? Yeah, I said I was going to do that, but I got tied up in committee and we haven't voted on it yet. That's exactly what happens, folks. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put this out here, and I'm probably going to piss off some right-wing conservatives, but I really don't care because that's a facade in itself as well. Don't even back people like Ted Cruz or Rand Paul. The biggest contributor to Rand Paul's campaign, or one of the biggest contributors to Rand Paul's campaign, is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, former CEO of PayPal, and he is a Bilderberg member. Okay? Ted Cruz, hello. Go check out his wife. Can you say Goldman Sachs. Hey, in the Spreaker chat, we have none other than Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Check it out, man. If he's still in the Spreaker chat, tell me if I'm wrong in any of this. If you look back at people like Truman, Eisenhower told us about the military-industrial complex. And I'll post a video of that full speech from, well, go look it up yourself. It's on YouTube. I'll probably post it anyway. The full exit speech of his presidency, where he warned that warned about the military-industrial complex. Warned us, 1961. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. If you you can look back at Nixon, you can look back at LBJ, Johnson. You can look back at Kennedy. You can look back before that. You can look at Clinton, look at Reagan. You can look at all these people, all of them. You can see the puppets being played. You can see the strings on them. You can see whose arm's up their butt telling them what to say. Okay? Everybody that I talk to, even current radio hosts on other networks that I've heard, that I've talked to myself personally, think Reagan was the greatest president that ever walked the face of the earth, other than Kennedy. Folks, Reagan was a socialist. Okay? That's what he was. He was a socialist. He ran under the Republican Party because he knew. He knew. He knew who the contributors were. And he had to run under one of the parties. He couldn't run independent. He couldn't run under the Socialist Party because people understood that. So he pulled the wool over everybody's eyes and ran under the Republican Party. Nick Tucker says I was right, and then he says all the suits in D.C. are fake and bought off. They are meant to distract the public. Exactly. Right on, virtual high five to Mr. Nick Tucker there. Exactly. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Scroll on down. TheBlaze.com, a troubling new report regarding Christians in an Iraqi city. Yeah, you might want to check that one out. Keep scrolling on down. By the way, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make this point briefly. I'm not going to go into it. I did a podcast earlier, so you might want to check it out. But I'm going to say this. I'm probably going to piss off a whole lot of people, but hey, if you're offended, kiss my ass. I'm politically incorrect. I'm sorry. Saying that sarcastically. Sorry you're offended. Yeah, right. You're offended, go away. You want to hear the truth with the facts? You stick around. I'll give it to you as much as I can. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. I'm straight up with that, folks. But from tampa.cbslocal.com, I'm going to preface this by saying this. I believe that all homeowners associations, all apartment managers, all housing authorities need to be absolutely 100% abolished. All of them. Or, in some cases, severely suppressed in the way that they conduct their business. Now, how can I say that? Well, when you look at private corporations contracted with the cities or contracted with certain areas of the cities, you're looking at private corporations. Me as a consumer who is living in a house in an area that has a homeowners association, I don't. I'm just using that as an example. I want to be able to put whatever I want in my front yard. But the homeowners association says no. You're in violation. You have so much time to change that, or we're going to put a lien on your house, and then we're going to start foreclosure proceedings against your home. That is communists. Homeowners associations are wrong and violate every single civil right and constitutional right that you have. Period. Anybody that lives in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, if you're pissed off by that, you can kiss my California rear end. Yeah, I left California. The writing was on the wall. From Tampa.cbslocal.com, vet. Not one that works on your animals. We're talking uniformed military vet. Vet could lose home for displaying small U.S. flag in front yard because it violates home display rules. Posted today. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. If I can find the guy's name, the person's name that wrote this. Okay. A veteran could lose his home because of a small American flag he placed in a flower pot in the front of his house. Larry Murphy explained that his homeowners association in Sweetwater community wants him to remove the flag because it violates home display rules. Furthermore, he is facing $8,000 in fines if he doesn't take it out of his flower pot. Quote, I want it to go away. It's such a minor little thing, and they keep coming after me, unquote, Murphy told WAWS. Quote, they just sent me a letter that says I owe them around $8,000, and they put a foreclosure lien on my house, unquote. Murphy has 30 days to pay the fines and remove the flag, or the Homeowners Association will move forward with the foreclosure. The veteran had a similar fight with the Homeowners Association last year when he filed a lawsuit which was settled out of court. Now the Homeowners Association flag display rules have been rewritten since then. Oh, we lost, so we're going to get back at him and rewrite it. So we can just, go after him. They got their ass kicked in court, so they're screaming like freaking babies. Continuing. Florida statute. Anybody in Florida can look this up. Florida statute 720.304, section 2A states that, quote, any homeowner may display one portable, removable United States flag in a respectful manner, not larger than 4.5 feet by 6 feet, regardless of any covenants, restrictions, bylaws, rules, or requirements of the homeowners association, unquote. Murphy said he won't stop until he can fly his flag freely at his home. Quote, when I first moved here, I loved it. It was wonderful, but it got to where I was being nitpicked more and more. I've lost a lot of friends and neighbors moving out. I don't want to move, unquote. He told WAWS. I'll say this once, and I'm going to put this on record. I believe that anybody in a neighborhood with a homeowners association should do one thing and one thing only. Gather all the people that have had and are really against the homeowners association in terms of its rules and regulations. All of you should get together and file multi-million-dollar lawsuits against them. and make sure you win. And make sure you put a stipulation in that lawsuit that says if the homeowners win, the homeowners association goes out of business. I know I probably pissed off a whole lot of people, but you can kiss my butt. I don't care. You violate my constitutional rights, I'm going to stomp a mud hole in you. You got it? That's just the way it is. Talking intellectually or legally. I've known people that told me, and I don't want to hear this excuse ever, because you people are just total nut jobs, okay? The excuse is this: well, you know what you got into when you bought the home in that area. Yeah. But like this man says, they nitpicked him. They lost the lawsuit, so they went back and changed the rule just because of him. Okay? So now everybody's got to follow that rule because he sued and won. And now they're nitpicking him, or have been. No, you need to sue them out of existence. I have heard and have read information elsewhere that there have been groups of people getting together and have gotten together in the past and have sued homeowners associations to the point where the homeowners association went belly up because they're fascist pigs that have absolutely no need to follow constitutional law. This is what, again, let me say this. That's from my perspective. I could be totally wrong in all of this, but I doubt it. So you people need to help me understand all this. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Hey, Nick, if you haven't heard this yet, or anybody else for that matter, DefenseOne.com. The link is on Free America Radio on Facebook. The military is about to get new spy glasses. Have you heard that one? Patrick Tucker over there at Defense One. This guy knows what he's talking about. He should. Getting secret information to specific people, like the location of the nearest nuclear power plant, in a way that doesn't draw attention from outside is a classic spy problem. Another one is getting agents the ability to match names to faces in a real world, at blackjack tables and fancy soirees and other places spies frequent. The Defense Department is buying some new spy specs to give spooks in the field an intelligence edge over everybody else. The glasses, called simply the X6, are from the San Francisco-based Osterhaus Design Group. Osterhout, I should say. Osterhout Design Group. They look like the love child of Google Glass and the Oculus Rift, providing more information to the wearer than the small window on Google's much maligned headset, but not obstructing vision like the Oculus Rift. Admittedly, for some spy glasses, they lack a certain subtlety. At a recent innovation symposium at Defense Intelligence Agency headquarters in Washington, D.C., Bobby King, Vice President of Special Projects of Osterhout, demonstrated how the headset provides situational intelligence. Oh, listen to this, folks. Defense One looked through the glasses at a static, two-dimensional map, and suddenly structures appeared in 3 dimensions related to the objects of interest. King confirmed that the map was just a regular print of a satellite photograph. With that particular app, the glasses send information to a server that then processes the image against others to determine the location depicted. The glasses then present data from the database visually in the form of structures, special instructions, clues, etc. The view was smarter and more useful than what you would see with Google Glass, but didn't get in the way of the user's ability to actually see, like the clunky virtual reality headset. Folks, you may want to go check out that article. It's on Free America Radio on Facebook. I don't know. I don't know, folks. It's getting way too scary. But that's okay, because we can defend ourselves. Yeah, I have ways. Do you? Something to think about, isn't it? FreeAmericaRadio.us. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com. Listen to Crash Talk with your host, Christopher John Taylor, on HTLA973.com.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene, destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 5:15 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And Southnet 1.
Take the last train to Boston. See them hoping run. He's leaving. On that midnight train to Georgia.
Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
Imagine a towering skyscraper with numerous floors, and each floor represents a different level of existence. Matter, spirits, angels, ghosts, extraterrestrials, quantum physics, biology, neuroscience, religion, metaphysics, even paranormal studies, all have their place in The Grid. The Grid, exploring the hidden infrastructure of reality, by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
From behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9, in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, you're listening to The Views Express Live. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. This is The Views Express Live right here on Free America Radio Network. If you want to contribute to this show, you can. It is entirely up to you. I would appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Go to freeamericaradio.us. Scroll on down to the bottom. You'll see a donate button. Down there, you can use that. Or go to the store. I got some stuff you can purchase. Hey, that helps out Free America Radio Network. That's cool. Or, if you want to sponsor the show, you can. That's cool, too. Also, go to freeamericaradio.us. Go to the top of the page. Go to Emergency Food Supply tab. And buy all the emergency food you can get. Because that also helps out Free America Radio Network get to the next level. Things change every day, folks. So if you want to be a part of that change and not like what Obama promised, let's do this. Let's get the truth out one fact at a time, shall we? Go to freeamericaradio.us. If you have any questions, hey, just ask. Just ask me. No question is off limits. Ask me anything you want. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Free America Radio at USA.com. That's Free America Radio at USA.com. But anyway, excuse me, wow. Coffee and, yes, lunch and Pepsi and, yes, all the stuff we're not supposed to have. Anyway, hey, another little promo here for me, actually. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for voice actors. I'm currently writing a script for a radio play type of story, and so I need your voices. And if you do different voices, different characters, please, of course, send your audio clip to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. And go to Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker. I've got some public domain stuff up there. I got something up there I did, so it's kind of cool. That would be Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com. Yes. Shall we go on? Let's venture yon. NewYorkTimes.com. Supreme Court curbs president's power to make recess appointments. Yay. I put that up there a couple of times. Here's something interesting. You know how those jackasses in Washington, D.C. like to keep things secret? Not very well, I'm sure, but do you know that this is what they want to do? Hey, what the hell is that?
Homeland Security Secretary Jed Johnson.
There we go. If you want to see the video of this article, it's on Breitbart.com. White House press secretary, quote, "We're not just going to sit around and wait," unquote, "for Congress to write laws." What? Did he just say that Obama's going to be a dictator? Really? Wow. It's in your face, people. Wake the hell up now. President Obama, tired of waiting for Congress to act on immigration reform, is currently exploring ways to address issues with Department of Homeland Security Jay Johnson. By the way, did you notice that all of the Mexican border is now just inundated with illegal immigrants? Hello, can you say backdoor amnesty? Or President Obama just told the Border Patrol, stand down, just let them come through. What? During an interview with MSNBC's Chuck Todd, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest explained that the Obama administration was getting impatient with Congress. Quote, "We're not just going to sit around and wait interminably. Interminably, you know what that means? Forever. They're not going to wait. For Congress," he explained. "We've been waiting a year already. The president has tasked his Secretary of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, with reviewing what options are available to the president, what is at his disposal, using his executive authority to try to address some of the problems that have been created by our broken immigration system," unquote. Okay. Some of these articles, folks, just make me want to scream, and that's why I didn't. I leaned back in my chair and took a breath. Broken immigration. If it's only broken because they broke it. Remember these three words, folks. Problem, reaction, solution. Okay, just remember that. Overwhelm the system. Cloward and Piven, go look at that. Overwhelming the system. Go look up Cloward and Piven. Ernest added that although Obama was exploring executive action, it was, quote, get this, not a substitute for a robust congressional action, unquote, on immigration reform. Folks, let me interject this. Anytime you see two words, immigration reform, or three words, comprehensive immigration reform, think this, open borders. Think this, amnesty. I'm not a racist of any kind, folks. I got friends of every race, creed, and religion that you can think of. I'm not prejudiced at all. Mama would kick my ass if she thought I was. I grew up in Stockton, California, folks. Born and raised there. Got friends of every color you can imagine. Well, you can imagine a whole lot of colors. I got black friends, white friends, Asian friends, Mexican friends. Let me tell you, even some of the Mexicans I know are going, what? They're like, and I've talked to them. They're like, what? Wait, hold on. They're what? They're letting them in? As they tell me they came here legally. They did the whole 9 yards. They became citizens, all that. And they're, what? What? Yeah, so they're pissed too. Okay? Let me continue here before I go rambling off on some tangent. Quote, Ernest added that although Obama was exploring executive action, we know what that means, it was not a substitute for robust congressional action on immigration reform. Quote, that's why we're trying to focus on getting that done, unquote, he concluded. Obama has been heavily criticized after 2012 executive decision to defer deportations on some young illegal immigrants, which critics argue was a key incentive for more children to cross the border illegally. You saw that one coming, didn't you? You saw that backdoor amnesty coming, didn't you? I said it before, I'll say it again, folks. Get down to the border. Okay? Just get on down there. If you know truckers that are on the road that are crossing through Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, or California, if they got a day or so or a few hours to kill, have them block the entrances to the United States. Yeah. I'm all for nonviolent militant protests. I'm all for nonviolence. Well, yeah. But if somebody's going to try to kick my butt, I'm going to defend myself. Oh, speaking of which, bet you didn't hear this one either. And if you did, it was probably glossed over or spun into some different direction. Did you know that Mexican troops have crossed over the U.S. border and fired on the Border Patrol, have fired on American citizens? That right there, folks, is a declaration of war from Mexico. Period. Don't like it? I don't care. That is a declaration of war. Now, some have said, and I've seen this, some have said that never happened. Really? How come the Border Patrol is coming out saying that it's happened? How come citizens in Texas say it's happened? My cousin lives 20 miles away from the Mexican border in Texas. He says, I can't even count it anymore. How many people I see coming down the road. He's got neighbors that he knows that, people cross their and the other thing, folks, from the Mexican border, actually from all the borders, even the coastlines, 100 miles in is a constitutional free zone. It's a freaking war zone. Constitution free zone. Go look it up. You'll see the map. I use startpage.com. Go to images. Click on Constitution free zone. Seriously. It's a freaking war zone, okay? DMZ, hello? Anybody remember Vietnam? Little side note, I was 6 years old when Walter Cronkite came on the TV and said, we got to send 10,000 more troops over to Vietnam. I turned around and looked at my mom and went, why? She goes, I don't know. She was disgusted by it. And she's a hardcore Democrat. I got to tell you, folks, I got to be straight here. I just got to be upfront, transparent, and I'm going to tell you like it is. We have too many wimpy, whiny, pansy-ass, spineless people that will not do a damn thing to get up and go stop this crap. Because we have too many dumbed-down, Common Core eating, brain-numbing, governmental indoctrination institute morons that think they know better than everybody else. I am absolutely and positively done with stupid people. So you folks can go walk off the edge of a cliff. I don't care. You people have absolutely no idea what's going on, nor do you care. We just have to vote for the right people and the democracy and this. Shut your big damn cake hole. If you want to vote with your feet. Go out and protest. Oh, and I understand this one too. You folks are going to be protesting against all of us who want freedom and liberty and a constitution. And we want this president out now, today, this minute, on the 26th of June, 2014. We want him out, him and Biden and Boehner and all those jackasses up there. We want him out. And all you indoctrinated, mindless, stupid people are going to be protesting against that. Why? Why? I don't have the answer. I'm just saying, why? Huh? Shall I go on? Yes. Joel Wolverton II over at thenewamerican.com writes, Trans-Pacific Partnership, NAFTA on steroids, threatens sovereignty. Hello! There we go. I told you about this months ago. Months. Probably a year or so ago. But let me read it and you can draw your own conclusions. This will be the last article of the program. You can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Joel Wolverton II over at thenewamerican.com wrote this. As anyone who reads The New American knows, there are several fronts in the plutocrats' war to eradicate our fundamental liberties and the Constitution that protects them. It is sometimes difficult to keep up with the manifold threats to the prosperity and perpetuation of the American Republic. Of all the weapons aimed at our freedom and founding documents, though, there is perhaps none more potent than the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So imminent is the harm hiding within the still-secret trade pact that one author recently described the TPP as, quote, the greatest threat to the American sovereignty, unquote. That's quite a claim, but a close scrutiny of the details, as scant though they may be, of the 12-nation agreement reveals that the accusation is accurate. Quote, since his second inauguration, President Obama has kept his foot on the TPP pedal, pushing for the quick culmination of the deliberations and ratification of the same by the Senate, unquote. Since his re-election in 2012, President Obama has been forced to focus on domestic issues, chief among which was the Obamacare rollout debacle. Not that foreign policy hasn't had its time in the foreground, speaking specifically of Syria, Ukraine, and Iraq. Now, however, the Trans-Pacific Partnership will be brought front and center, and the President reckons the time is right to renew his effort to solve the problems plaguing the approval of the 12-nation regional trade pact. It's a pretty lengthy article. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things here. President Obama used the State of the Union address in January as an opportunity to request Trade Promotion Authority, TPA, from Congress. TPA is a tool that the president demands be in the United States Trade Representative's bag when he sits down with his colleagues from the other TPP participant nations. Not so fast. The Washington Post reported on February 19th on the pressure of the president is feeling from his own party to pump the brakes on TPP and fast-track authority. Quote, already Senate Majority Leader Harry M. Reid, Democrat of Nevada, hello, not surprised, and the House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, Democrat of California, not surprised there either, are opposed to moving forward with granting Obama fast-track authority. Quote, everyone would be well advised to just not push this right now, unquote. Reid said in March he's generally opposed to large global trade agreements. Yeah, because he wants to find out how he can line his pockets. Resistance from Reid and Pelosi usually would be enough to at least ease the White House push, but Obama and Vice President Biden have also been directly confronted on the issue in recent weeks by rank-and-file members. The 151 House Democrats, more than half of the caucus, co-signed a letter last year written by Representative Rosa DeLauro, I guess, Democrat of Connecticut, to voice opposition to fast-track authority and the TPP. You might want to read that, folks. There's a lot that I skipped over for time, but the bottom line is the TPP is going to take away every single piece of sovereignty that the United States has. And guess what? There's also another bill floating around, if it's not already signed yet, or in the House or the Senate yet, talking about limiting or severely throttling back the internet. Go look it up. Go look it up. Folks, if I'm wrong about anything, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. But you got to show me. You got to email me stuff. You got to send me stuff. Let's put it on the table of debate and talk about it. How's that? That's kind of cool, isn't it? Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. The TPP was talked about even I heard it when the not Trans-Pacific, but the Trans-Texas Corridor bill was being pushed around in Texas by Governor Rick Perry. I heard about the Trans-Pacific Partnership then. If you don't know what the Trans-Texas Corridor is, go look it up. Let me specify one thing here. I have known people to listen to what I say, take the information I say is there, and literally laugh their ass off because they think I'm one of those kooks. But when I present the facts behind it and more evidence to prove what it is I was showing them, they shut up. I don't like doing that. I never have and I never will. But when people start contradicting everything or mocking me like some of my own family members, I shut them up. They don't like it. They don't like the truth in their face. Some of the people that listen to the show, and I got emails from other people saying, and they criticize me for this, and I'm like, you're listening to it. Can you not? You hear me say many, many times, go look this stuff up. And I've heard people tell me to my face they don't have to look it up. Because they don't want to know the truth. And that's all I'm trying to get at, folks, is the truth. I'm giving you as much as I know I may have overlooked something, but I'm not wrong. I just overlooked something, and if I go back and look at it and find certain things that I've overlooked, I'm going to present it again. Just trying to get to the truth, folks. Trying to get to the facts. But then again, everything's so diluted that you don't know what is what. Can I go over here and look at this information from this resource? Is it going to be factual or accurate, or are they going to be credible? Can I go over here and look at this stuff? You know, like I've heard Nick Tucker's show, Distorted Reality. He's taking a little hiatus. It's not on, but he's taking a little hiatus. And heard everything that he's talked about. And I went, really? I didn't know that. So I go look it up. Guess what? Yeah. And here's the thing, folks. If you have a question in your mind, that should give you the incentive to go look stuff up. Like, is this guy really telling the truth? Did I not just tell you where to find this stuff? Did I not just suggest to you to go look it up? I don't know. It's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. Now, why do I do this show every day? Well, because things change every 5 minutes, or it seems like it, and so I got to get the information and get it out to you. Like the stuff that I shared on the Free America Radio Facebook page. All that stuff there up until, let's see, just about, where is it here? I didn't even get into, like, most of it. Like this one from thenewamerican.com. UN human rights bureaucrats demand global law for Detroit. Or from libertynews.com, city council in hot water for bigotry and discrimination after banning event because it had Chick-fil-A there. They're back in the news. I mean, seriously, folks, come on. NaturalCuresNotMedicine.com. Police confiscate healthy baby for testing because of off-the-grid birth. What? I didn't even get to those stories. And there's more out there. And I'll probably find more tonight and put it on the Free America Radio Facebook page. And Nick, if you're still hanging out there, dude, put more stuff up on your site, on your Facebook page. Not just articles. I mean, deep stuff, share, or notes. Facebook has notes. You can do that too. Or send me stuff and I'll put it on the website at freeamericaradio.us. I'll put it in the news section over there. Okay? I'll put it in the Free America Radio news page. So check it out. freeamericaradio.us. I don't know what else to tell you, folks, but I'm going to tell you. I find something new, I'm going to share it with you. Free America Radio on Facebook. Go check it out. freeamericaradio.us on the news page. Go check it out. I do this because I want you to understand what's going on. That's all. Questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want to ask me, no question is off limits. Ask me anything you like. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com is the email address if you want to send me some other stuff that you don't want, that you want me to see, You can go to my more secure email address at freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. You can come back here tomorrow, folks, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network. Go to freeamericaradio.us for more information, of course. I'm going to do a podcast tomorrow, and it's not going to be the live show of the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I'm going to do a podcast, so look forward to that. And always remember, folks, you are the future of this country. But if you don't care, well, I'm sure China and Russia would love your citizenship. But to those who love this country, I say this: we the people have the power, for we are America.